Hey guys, it's Jenny Silver with a California update on Tuesday, October 12th. As the California 2021 legislative session has come to a close, 836 pieces of legislation were sent over to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for signature or veto. Of those 836 bills, Gavin Newsom has signed into law 770 new pieces of legislation and vetoed 66. While I cannot give you an overview of all 770 bills that were signed into law, I do want to give you a brief summary of some of the most noteworthy. First is Senate Bill 510 to provide no-cost COVID testing. Federal and state laws were passed during the pandemic to provide free testing to limit the spread of COVID-19. However, patients are still being charged inappropriately. This bill eliminates any ambiguity about the cost-free provisions while also making the measure retroactive to March 4, 2020, when the state first declared a state of emergency. Next is Senate Bill 98, which requires that journalists be given unrestricted access to closed-off protests and prohibits law enforcement officers from assaulting, interfering, or obstructing journalists from covering such events. Next is Assembly Bill 101, which includes an ethnic studies requirement in K-12 education. On Friday, California became the first state to add ethnic studies as a graduation requirement. The K-12 model curriculum was approved in March by the State Board of Education, and this requirement would first apply to those who graduate in 2030. If you'd like to view the model curriculum, I have a link to the full guide in the video description down below. Next is Assembly Bill 61, Senate Bill 314, and Senate Bill 359, which all surround small business COVID-19 relief. These bills would extend some of the temporary licensing waivers for restaurants and bars, including the sale of to-go alcohol and the ability to operate without secondary satellite food service licenses, as well as reducing parking space requirements to promote outdoor dining due to COVID-related health measures. Next is Assembly Bill 3. Participating in illegal street racing or sideshows, the bill would increase penalties by adding a driver's license suspension of up to 6 months to the punishment for convicted offenders. Next is Senate Bill 73. Senate Bill 73 ends mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug offenses. This changes existing law, which prohibits granting probation or suspending a sentence for persons convicted of specified crimes relating to controlled substances. This would allow persons who have committed specific crimes related to possession, intent to sell, or transport to qualify for probation and suspended sentences. Next is Senate Bill 224, which mandates mental health instruction in middle schools and high schools that have an existing health education course. Content covers a range of topics, including habits that promote mental wellness, signs and symptoms of common mental health conditions, and ways to seek help. Next, Assembly Bill 367 requires public colleges, universities, and secondary schools to provide free menstrual products on campus. Next, Assembly Bill 1084 would require large stores that sell children's products to maintain a gender-neutral section of toys and childcare items. Next is Senate Bill 81, which seeks to reduce the number of sentence enhancements in criminal cases that can double prison terms. More than 150 enhancements exist for aggravating factors, which include prior criminal records, use of a gun in the commission of a crime, and offenses involving minors. The legislation would have judges dismiss enhancements in certain cases, including when they would result in discriminatory racial impact or a sentence for more than 20 years, or when the offense is connected to mental illness, prior victimization, or childhood trauma. Next, Senate Bill 331 would ban employers from using non-disclosure agreements in order to have secret settlements to prevent workers from speaking out against illegal harassment or discrimination, with a few exceptions. Next is Assembly Bill 453, which would make non-consensual condom removal illegal. This would mean that this would be considered sexual battery under the state's civil code and would allow the victims to sue for damages. Next, Assembly Bill 570 would allow health insurance plans to make coverage available to the members' dependent parents. Next, Senate Bill 2 would give the state's Commission on Peace Officers Standards and Training the ability to remove an officer for wrongdoing. Senate Bill 16 would expand the public's access to police records. It would allow the release of these records after an officer resigns. It would put a 45-day limit on when the agencies must respond to and provide the records at their request, and would remove the time limit on when judges can consider police misconduct complaints to be admissible in criminal cases. And Assembly Bill 48 would limit police usage of rubber bullets and other weapons at protests and demonstrations. You guys, I hope that was helpful. Please click like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below.